COVID-19 dominated headlines, other diseases may not cross your mind. For example, did you know that 2 people die each minute from hepatitis B worldwide? Well, this is Hepatitis Awareness Month, and here to bring attention to this highly infectious disease and the importance of vaccination is Dr. Arun Jasudian. Let's start with the basics, Doctor. Good morning to you, first off.
Good morning.
Let's get back into it with the basics. Who is at risk for hepatitis B? Because those statistics are pretty startling.
They are. And really, who's at risk for hepatitis B? That's anyone who has not been vaccinated against hepatitis B could potentially contract this infection. This is a virus that infects your liver, and hepatitis B can cause a chronic infection, meaning it can stay with you long-term, lifelong, and if you have chronic hepatitis B, you have about a 1 out of 4 chance of dying because of a consequence of hepatitis B, like liver failure or liver cancer. So it's a really serious infection that is out there that people are at risk of getting.
Are healthcare professionals and other frontline workers more at risk, would you say?
They are a particularly high-risk group, and that's because hepatitis B is transmitted person to person through blood or body fluids, and healthcare workers and frontline workers are exposed to a lot of different people and can be exposed to their blood and body fluids in the line of their work. So they could be stuck with a needle, or they could get a splash of blood or body fluid when they're taking care of someone. This puts them at really high risk of contracting hepatitis B. So this is a population that certainly should be vaccinated to protect themselves against this virus.
And speaking of vaccinations, what advances have been made and who would benefit from it?
Yes, hepatitis B vaccines have been available for some years, even decades. The older hepatitis B vaccines required 3 shots given over 6 months. So that was a long vaccination series. And many people who started it might not have finished that series and not been fully protected against hepatitis B. We have a newer vaccine available now called Heplisav-B. This is a 2-dose vaccine instead of 3, and you finish this series within a month instead of 6 months. So it's much easier to complete the series, be fully protected. Heplisav-B can cause some mild side effects, but really we're just talking about arm soreness or fatigue or headache, and not expected to get any severe side effects. And that's why I've partnered with the makers of Heplisav-B, Dynavax, to get the word out about hepatitis B in general and about how to protect yourself through vaccination.
Very nice. And I'm just kind of curious, with hepatitis B, since it's been around and the vaccine's been available for more than 40 years, why has this disease not really been eliminated?
We haven't really focused on vaccinating the general population until recently. We used to focus on higher risk groups, like those having unprotected sex, those who are using intravenous or intranasal drugs, healthcare workers, first-line workers, those with HIV, etc. But we found that with a virus like this that circulates in the community and doesn't cause symptoms, it's kind of a silent infection, that it's best for as many people as possible to be protected. So we now focus on vaccinating children when they're getting their first vaccine, and adults. Even if you don't think you fall into a high-risk group, you can get hepatitis B vaccines and protect yourself. You just need to discuss that with your doctor.
And as we wrap up this interview, what's the website where our viewers can go to for more information about what you brought us this morning?
They can go to the website heplisavb.com for information about hepatitis B, about how to protect yourself, and about the vaccine Heplisav-B.
All right, Doctor, we appreciate your time this morning. Stay safe out there. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Hepatitis B infection rates are on the rise, so for more information about this vaccine that our doctor brought to you this morning, just head to that website right there on your screen. Dynavax, proud sponsor of Las Vegas Morning Blitz.